at the end of the first stint. He's now handed over to Manuel Maldonado. There's the 41 car getting ahead of Maldonado though for second position. That happened right across the start-finish line, and Ifeye, Maldonado were side by side very briefly.
Just wondering why the 41 was that far back, because that was in contention for
Yes.
the 26. That, by the way, both those cars leaving the pits is under investigation. We did question whether or not that was a safe release. Same question is apparently being asked by race control.
Now, was that the 26 or the 25 that...
26.
26, so Roman Rusanov rejoining
for
in front
lead
of the 41 of Ifeye, and it did look rather nip and tuck, I have to say, with the two overlapping as they returned from the apron, the concrete apron in the pit lane, to the fast lane itself.
I can only think that Ifeye has been caught up in thick and has dropped back off the 26 car, because that was a very different look when we finally got another look at the lead pair. It's Nick de Vries, by the way, not Roman Rusanov aboard that car. He's now 2.6 seconds ahead.
Yeah, but yes, Dutchman taking over from Russian driver. More black and white warning flags, this time to the number 5 car of André for the GT cars. It's Nick de Vries though that leads for G-Drive Racing in the LMP2 division, and a reminder of the gaps between the cars after 83 laps being completed. G-Drive Aurus leads by 28.6 seconds from Robert Kubica for Team WRT. Then it's Jonathan Aberdeen and Manuel Maldonado for United Autosports. Charlie Eastwood is the best Pro-Am car for Racing Team Turkey, 5th, ahead of the Duquesne team entry of René Binder. There's another Pro-Am LMP2 in the top 10, being Jean-Baptiste Lehay for Ultimate. LMP3 is led by Rob Weldon's United Autosports car number 2. Nicola Molini for Cool Racing is 2nd, and Mattia Passini for Inter-Europol competition, the Polish squad, is in 3rd, in turn ahead of Nielsen Racing's Tony Wells, 5th place rather for Euro International, and Cem Bölükbaşı. In the 80 car, you have Rino Mastronardi leading the GTE category. 2nd place, Richard Lietz for Proton competition. And number 93, the Emerald Green Porsche, I should say. And then Emmanuel Collard in the 88 AF Corsa Ferrari is running 3rd, ahead of Matt Griffin's Spirit of Race 55. 2 hours done. 2 to go, as a windscreen wiper being turned on Richard Bradley's car.
He's probably bored.
What do we make of that?
He may be bored in the cockpit and actually just playing with the buttons, but it's a good question. And we have got moisture on the screen.
This is
spot on.
The Cool Racing car running in LMP3, so that's grumbling, throaty Cool Racing Nissan V8, the 5.6 litre power plant. Race prepared by Orica. Nicholas Cruton, who was put in for qualifying yesterday, driving now in the number 19 car. Will Stevens preparing himself to take over.
Track is declared wet. Rain light on low mode. You can see the flashing red lights. The low mode, by the way, there are 2.
As the 26 car leads the race, 23, 24 seconds away from Robert Kubica. And Kubica has really solidified that 2nd position now, leading from Jonathan Aberdeen by almost 10 seconds. So Kubica took a little while to get into his stride in this stint, but nearly has now opened up a healthy margin. But
both are catching the leader, not dramatically, but steadily. The gap, which was over 30 seconds to Nick de Vries from Kubica, is now 22.8. And in fact, Aberdeen is closer to Kubica, to de Vries than Kubica was to de Vries when this stint started. So that gap is compressing, and that will be its older tyres, I think, for the leader. They are very dark skies, aren't they, as the 2 Nielsen Racing cars find themselves together on track here in the company of the 55 car. 2nd, 3rd now, rather, with Matt Griffin at the wheel of the 55.
Matthias Caprich took over the Inter-Europol competition, number 14, by the way. He's just got by Tony Wells, running in 4th place now in LMP3. So the 2 Inter-Europol competition cars together on the screen, although 21 seconds apart in reality. Martin Hipper ahead of Caprich, who in turn leads Tony Wells and Cem Bölükbaşı in the Euro International number 11 car.
super rapid pit stop, by the way, from inter-Europol competition, under a minute.
The right car, I'm pleased to say, as far as the race officials are concerned, 60 and 32 identified, although it wasn't turn 1, was it?
It wasn't turn
10,
1, yeah.
that is under investigation. We know what they mean. The RedBull on the inside of the circuit has seen much wet weather since that was first installed.
Oh, wow.
And the water is pouring off the screen now for Nicholas Cruton.
See the struggling for grip out of turn 3 there.
Interestingly, Nicholas has not put the windscreen wiper on, I think for fear of just smearing the grime that's already built up on the windshield. And the water is actually flowing fairly nicely off the front of that car, so it's not causing a huge hassle from a visibility point of view. Being prepared for Ultimates.
I think that's probably right at this point.
E-Deck?
That's Ultimate. Oh, no,
it
it was WC. Apologies.
Get there eventually. There are a number of cars in similar liveries this year, the red and the white. So Belgian outfit WRT switching to full wet. Nick de Vries had a moment ago.
No, that's a 25.
Or is it? Oh, it's Roberto Merih in the 25 car.
It's
just caught the curb.
Keep off the curb. There's the result of someone else, 65 off. Oh, there's another car going off. Very hard indeed. That was United car that came past sideways.
And also tagged a barrier. Oh no, you know, it hasn't made contact with the wall too heavily, so going to keep my fingers crossed.
That went off very fast.
Now what we don't know is whether that's the 22 or the 32. Need to see it from the front really to make a full decision on that. It is no, still tricky to tell.
22. It's 22. Okay. It's stopped up at turn 9.
Okay.
32 is still moving at turn 6. It's 22. Having just got in the car, it's Tom Gamble, who appears to have rejoined.
He does.
But if that car stayed out the wall, he came past through the frame at a rate of knots sideways.
Yeah. Through the. Or was it just one of the many Nissan 5.6 litre engines in the LMP3s? I always get the two mixed up.
There you go. On board, this is the kind of visibility the drivers have got right now. Not nice. So the 12 car will be under tow presently. That car had a spin at turn 1. I wonder whether or not that's just confused the electronics somewhere.
Yeah.
But either way, David Howard's unable to get that car restarted.
I'm still trying to work out when the G-Drive car, the race leader, came into the pits.
It was about 5 minutes ago. Possibly
but not
less
during
than
the safety car, though.
Yes, during past the fantastic Sintime Technical Museum with the Concorde and Concordski on the roof of that museum when that reopens after the pandemic. So well worth a lunch stop there. But
there's lots of excuses to take in visitor attractions, aren't there, when they're open again, as you make the point.
The European Le Mans Series, if this is something you decide to follow as a spectator.
I also want to mention very quickly the Association SRT 41 entry, which is the innovative car for Takuma Aoki, Nigel Bailey and Pierre Sanchez-Nena. They're not with us today, but they will return for the next round. They will return for the next round. That car doing a couple of the European Le Mans Series races in preparation for the Le Mans 24 Hours, where it will form the Garage 56 innovative car entry. In comes this is the ultimate car. That's right on cue, by the way, because the other point it's going to make is we do have the third driver for Le Mans in this race, and that driver will be Francois Hariot, who's one of the... Going to slip a couple of places because of this, so now Spirit of Race and Matt Griffin lead GTE. They go by behind the safety car on the racetrack. Alessio Rivera will be definitely one to watch at the restart for number 88, and it is a Ferrari 1, 2, 3, 4 in fact, with Spirit of Race, AF Corsa, the rejoining Miguel Molina, who's just taken charge of the 80 car, and Rahel Fry for the 83 team. It's going to be interesting to see if Mr. Rivera is as convincing in wet weather as he is in dry, because he's certainly very convincing indeed in the dry. Puccini. And there's the 12 car being recovered to the pits. That was big game over sadly for the racing experience efforts. External assistance being the reason. Quite aside from whatever malaise. Michael Zalavari from Down Under. Hey Michael,
is asking, is there any provision for emergency service if the pit lane is closed? I will check that for you.
I think you are allowed emergency service, as in if you've a slow puncture, full puncture, you are permitted to change a tyre, or you're allowed 5 seconds. I think it is of the fuel nozzle being connected. Yep. Very similar to IMSA type racing as well. So there's a little bit of give as far as the regulations are concerned. Yep. But what you're not allowed to do is the full tyre change, the full driver change, and that would have been an issue, you know, for those that were very definitely on the wrong tyre. Some of which I think were still out on slicks when the rains really started to come down
in very large numbers.
And
indeed.
And then you've got to stay.
Sen çok manyaksın. Sen çok manyaksın. Aslanım benim. Aslanım benim. Dil.
Confirmed in third place, it's a Year report, so that does mean that Graph Racing have not succeeded with what their arguments are going on in the background. It's going to be your International second, and a win for the Cool Racing trio. We heard from it earlier, Matt Bell.
We will hear the national anthem, therefore, of Switzerland for Cool Racing. So Martin Hipper, Hugo de Wilde and Elise Dupont are elevated to third position on the podium as a result of that change of result. In second position it is Joey Alders, Andrea Donadari and the Euro International crew, and the win goes to, 2 wins out of 2 in fact, for Nicholas Creighton